Hi, Hollywood Lifers. Here we are, first thing after the July 4th holiday, and we're talking about Katie Holmes with Vikki Ziegler. She's a celebrity divorce attorney, real expert, and we're discussing an application that we believe was filed by Katie Holmes' attorney, Alan Majewski, on July 3rd, just before the holiday, and it's called an emergent application. And what it does is it would allow her to have a hearing here in New York, and if this is her application, it will occur on July 17th, and it will allow her to discuss child custody issues, support for the child, and possibly legal bill issues. And so just tell us, Vikki, what is this? What's an emergent application?
Right, so attorneys often file emergent applications on behalf of their clients when they believe there's going to be irreparable harm. Something may happen to the child, and unless they get designated immediately as the sole custodian temporarily, they want to make sure that they get child support in a sufficient amount and perhaps legal fees and other decision-making power over the child. They want to go into court immediately, which means you're not waiting for the normal motion practice, which could be up to 25 to 30 days. This is asking the court immediately, we need to get into court, we need to tell the court we need protection. Katie Holmes wants to make sure that she's the temporary sole custodian of this child. That's what she's asking the court, and it's very unique in certain circumstances because usually there's no real need to rush. The court system plays out, you will get custody, and you take time, you get your evidence, your experts. That's not what's happening here. She's saying, Judge, I'm waving a flag. I need your assistance in a court order to designate me sole custodian of this child until this case plays out.
Now, why would she be doing that? If this is her application, could she be doing it because Tom is asking to see Suri and she's concerned that once he has her in his hands, maybe, he'll take her to his apartment? Could it be because she wants to make sure that the divorce case starts here in New York because there are rumors that he wants to file in California, and California is a state where they're more likely to give joint custody?
Correct.
Could it be for those reasons if this is her application?
Absolutely. I think probably both. You hit the nail on the head. The first and foremost is she wants venue in New York. She wants the court system in New York, the judge, to hear this case because they are more deferential. If two parents cannot agree that they're going to give potentially sole custody, which is really not the standard in most states, and especially in California. Joint custody is really more of the preferred resolution for parents to share custody. So that's the first point. And the second point is, although we're speculating, there's something going on with Tom and Suri. He either wants to see the child, take her on vacation, there's a concern maybe take her out of the state. Something's going on that's making her feel uncomfortable where Katie Holmes feels that she needs a court order so he can't do certain things, or at least there's parameters in place that everyone can identify this is what's going to happen with Suri during this litigation.
Now, the thing is that we've heard that one of the reasons that she's breaking up the marriage is because she no longer wants to be a Scientologist. She's very concerned about her child being raised as a Scientologist, and so she wants to step in right away and say, no, I don't want Suri going to preschool or I guess kindergarten anymore in California, Scientology school. I want to have her here going to a regular school.
Right. Suri is apparently of the age where you start to get questioned, you start to get more a little indoctrinated in the Scientology field and the religion. And I think probably what we're reading and hearing is that she doesn't want it anymore. She wants to cut it off, and this is the time to do it. That's why she ran into court to file a complaint and start the divorce process, because she didn't have to do that. They could have worked it out, as we've seen many celebrities do, outside the courthouse, and then anonymously, filed a complaint and then had the agreement and nobody even knew what happened.
Right, because the thing is about okay, so if she's done the emergent application and they appear in court, it's a public court.
Correct.
So the media would be there. Everybody would hear what's going on in that court. Like if the Kim Kardashian, Chris Humphries trial.
We'd have our chairs right there.
Yeah, exactly. So we would know everything. So this wouldn't be something that Tom Cruise, who's very private, would like. And also, he's got to be there unless, can't he get some kind of court order to try and move it to California or to have it private? But I think you've told me already that that's tough to get.
Yeah, what I think is happening, if in fact this emergent application for temporary custody and other relief has been filed, I think Tom's team is on the phone with the other lawyers, Katie Holmes' team, and saying, listen, let's work this out. We don't want to air our dirty laundry anymore. He wants to protect Scientology. Remember, the reputation. He's like number 4 or 5 as a contributor in Scientology. So you know you don't want people talking negatively and tarnish that reputation. So you know that he's saying, wait a second, we can work everything out. You don't have to run to court. We don't want the world to see it. And I also think if she's saying, I'm not talking unless I get everything, and they are stonewalled, they can't resolve it, you have to go to court. Then what does he do? Tactical move. You file an application to dismiss the matter here, saying Katie Holmes lacks jurisdiction. It should be transferred to California. Or in the alternative, if the court believes New York is the right venue, he wants joint legal custody. He wants a parenting schedule immediately. He wants a vacation schedule, and he may even want to enroll her in school in September. Then that becomes a huge battle. So that's what I think may happen if we see this unfold in the courthouse.
Right. Well, I think that there's going to be big battles ahead. From what I hear, it's very much in the hands of the judge whether this would be transferred to a California court. And the fact that they've accepted to hear it here, I think, is favorable. From what I understand, it's favorable in Katie's.
Well, the court definitely thought there was some type of relief necessary, that the court had to accept the paperwork, take a look at it, and set down a hearing date. So that gives me reason to believe in her paperwork, because she has to certify under oath, that there's something wrong. There's a reason why she needs the court's intervention, and she needs protection on behalf of the child. Whether the court grants it permanently or not, and then whether they keep it in New York is a different story. They have to make the legal argument that she has established residency in the state for 1 year, if in fact the cause of action occurred in New York.
Right. Well, I think she's been working on this for quite some time, because we know she moved to a new place in Manhattan last week. However, I seem to remember, we're going to be investigating this, Hollywood Lifers, that she has been spending more time in New York in the past year than she ever has before. And apparently, in the last month or so, she changed all her cell phones, her cell phone numbers. People don't have her new numbers. Like, there's been a lot of pre-planning that has gone into this.
Right. I mean, I think you make great points. What people do ultimately, you cannot divorce plan. It's against public policy. It's against the law. However, you can prepare to get divorced in the sense that move your stuff, transfer your numbers, have a new residence ready, so when you do move and leave your husband, like Katie Holmes left Tom Cruise, you're prepared, your child's protected. He didn't stop her from moving out with the child. He could have ran to court right away and said, I don't want her moving out. He didn't do that.
Well, because he thought she was moving to the other apartment, apparently for another reason, just to escape paparazzi. So
blindsided.
He was blindsided. I think here, you know, he blindsided Nicole Kidman 10 years ago. She was shocked when he filed divorce papers. Katie has now done the reverse to Tom. Anyway, Vikki, I can see we are going to be talking, I think, on a very regular basis about this case, and it's fantastic to have your insight.
Thank you.
So, Hollywood Lifers, you tell us what you think.